What's up guys, it's Devin, and I have a giant zit on my chin, because that's just how life is sometimes. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This has been super hyped within the beauty community, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, and my NARS holy grail favorite concealer ever finally ran out, and it's expensive. And this guy was $32. It comes with 0.22 ounces, and then I've heard that this is also a full coverage concealer and it comes with 0.33 ounces and was $24. So I figured I'd give it a go and see how it performs. So I picked mine up at Ulta. I was swatching them and I swatched the shade Light and it looked like a pretty good match, but they only had Light Neutral, which at the time I wasn't sure if light and light neutral were the same thing. So I picked up light neutral and it looks like my skin color, my skin tone, but it's a lot more yellow than the NARS concealer. I'll do a comparison. So I'm a little concerned on the color, but regardless, we're gonna see how it performs. And once it's kind of blended out onto the face, it may look a little different. It matches my foundation pretty well, so it's kind of like, we're just gonna find out. So this is the NARS concealer that is on its last leg, and I find that this matches my skin tone almost perfectly. So this is the NARS concealer. I'm in the shade 2, which is vanilla, and then this is the Tarte light neutral shade. So you can tell it is a lot more yellow, but I don't really consider myself to have pink undertones, so we'll see how it works. And if the color shade doesn't work out, then I can always return it and get my correct shade, which I absolutely hate doing. I hate returning makeup that doesn't work, but I don't have the kind of budget where I can just spend $24 on a concealer that doesn't match my skin tone. So I'm not going to wear any foundation today. I'm just going to wear the concealer kind of as a faux foundation, but I am going to first prime my face using my Makeup Forever Step 1 primer. This is the hydrating kind. This is what the packaging looks like. It's like a big chunky bottle compared to the NARS one. It's a lot shorter and stouter. And the applicator is huge. Like, there's no way around it. This is a giant applicator, but okay. It looks like a lot. That's the one thing that I didn't like about the idea of this giant applicator, is I feel like it's just like, hope you want a lot of product, because there's only one option with this guy. But that's okay, I'll just use this to spread around my face. For a while I didn't use any concealer because I was essentially out, and then I kind of picked back up my old NARS one and I've been squeezing the last few drops out of it. But I've been in the kind of mood where I don't really want to put foundation on, I just want to put concealer on. So I was like, well, in order to do that, I'm going to need a concealer that's actually functioning. So I'm going to buff this in with like a flat, dense buffing brush. This is the Crown C451 round buffer. This is my favorite type of brush to apply foundation and concealer, because I feel like the bristles are packed so tightly that they don't really let the foundation get absorbed into it, and it will actually blend out the product. So I know that there's like no amount of any type of product that can cover this giant zit on my chin, so I'm gonna do the best I can with this product, but I'm not gonna fault this concealer for that, because even my NARS concealer doesn't really cover it very well. It's kind of healing. It's in that weird stage between like still forming but like kind of scabbing up. I know that's gross, but look, acne is a part of life. It's pretty thick, but it's not super dry, so it's still like pretty easy to blend out. You just kind of have to take your time, especially on the parts where you're not really wearing much, to make sure it's like blended in. I'm having a hard time telling if the color is right. It looks like it's right? But it blended in really nicely. It did a good job covering. I didn't really put much down here, so you can still see a little bit of my discoloration. I mean, it did a good job covering this too. It's still there. I mean, you can see it, but it's not like I'm a giant red zit. You can kind of see where I didn't have any on, which kind of concerns me, because if I'm gonna only be wearing concealer, I don't want one that you can tell where I'm wearing it and where I'm not. Like, but I think that just has to do with the color match. I'm gonna apply just a little bit more, a few places, and we'll see what happens. And that was just like one like scoop, one dip. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my finger, because this applicator just picks up way too much product. I feel like the color match isn't off, but somehow it just like, I don't know, I can't tell. I'm really liking that it's like a pretty matte finish. That was one thing I didn't love about the NARS concealer, is it's a pretty like natural dewy finish, so I always have to set it with like a ton of powder. So if I can forego the powder step with this, then that makes it even better. So I can't tell how it's really reading on camera, it's kind of hard to detect, but it looks pretty good on the skin. Like, it's matte, but it's not so matte that you look super like dry and cakey. I'm gonna look in a few different lighting situations so we can like really tell. But I mean, because I look a little yellow right here, but like, so does my flesh. But I feel like there are a few spots where I look just a tiny bit patchy, just from me not blending it out as well as I can, which I'll take some time to make sure it's all good. But I mean, the coverage is good. The coverage is really good. So yeah, my first impressions are that I like it. I think it's got a really good coverage. I really like the finish on the skin, and that's basically it. So it's currently 2:37. I'm gonna be back and forth between doing like filming, and I'm cleaning my apartment, and I have to go to work later. So we're gonna test it out. I'm gonna come back after I like finish up my makeup and get some other stuff done, and let you guys know how it's holding up. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And I'm back in new lighting. I'm in the living room now, so I actually have natural light. It is 4:26, so it's been almost 2 hours. I applied the rest of my makeup, etc. And I love the concealer. I'm still not convinced that this is the correct shade. It's really hard for me to tell. I don't know why. I feel like it just might be a tad too yellow for me. But zoomed in, this is natural light, so like y'all are seeing everything. Oh my god, is my cat using the litter box right now? But the shade being a problem is definitely fixable. I love the formula. I love that it is matte, of course. The only powders that I put on top were my blush and my highlight, so I didn't set my face at all. And then I used some setting spray, so I did set my face, but not with powder. And then I wanted to go ahead and show it to you in my bathroom with like my nice warm lights. It looks nice. It looks good. Absolutely nothing has changed since the last time I put it on. So again, I did not set it with powder. I just used a setting spray, and the only powders that are on top are my highlight and my blush. I did not use a foundation, so the only other products on my face are those. But yeah, that's it for now. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, so it's 9:30. I'm in the bathroom at work. I'm on my break, and I just wanted to give you guys a really quick update. This is on my phone. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my camera. There's something wrong with my eyelash. The only place that I see wear is on my chin and on my zit, and I think it's because it's kind of been hurting, so I've been touching it a little bit, so I think that's my fault. Other than that, on the face, it's like faded just a tiny bit, but not a ton. It hasn't really migrated or anything. And that's basically all I have to update you guys on. So I've had it on for about 7 hours. I'll do one last check-in before I go to bed, but looks pretty good. Okay, this is my final check-in. It is 11:20, and I'm about to take my makeup off for the day. No real change since the last update. It stayed pretty intact on my whole face, except for my chin, which again, I feel like I touched a bit. Other than that, it did get very slightly shiny, but nowhere near as shiny as I usually get. I see a little bit of my redness kind of poking in the center of my face, but it's not really a deal breaker. So I really love this concealer. I'm just not 100% certain this is my shade. I've said that a million times. But let me know down below if you feel like it matches. I showed it in a ton of different lights, so maybe you guys can give me your opinion. I just don't know if I should keep this one or if I should go with the shade under. I'm just afraid it's going to be too pink. Let me know if you've tried this concealer out, or if you haven't, what your favorite concealer is. I would love to know. And that's all I have for this video. So this product gets 2 thumbs up from me. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them down below. You can follow me on social media. All those links are down below as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.